Dolovina guia dolosana angi totali takini ana warong ng Bula FM e Golden Point Resort basendo nambando ana here binaka.
Bula binaka na dang kotevita utu ngoi 90 ando tali takawale warong ng Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Na dang ko makilesi wer kraki NSB ng Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Hello nga ratu kitchen ng Batambo ando tali takana warong ng Bula FM nambando ana sir ngo lusu.
Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Tonight, 6 appear in court for drink and drive cases. Commerce Commission finds 45 traders post TC Winston. And the Damodar Group plans to grow bigger. Six drivers were produced in a special court sitting today in Suva, Nasinu, Lotoka and Lambasa for driving under the influence of alcohol on Thursday night. One of the six was an officer from the Land Transport Authority. LTA Chief Executive Naisattuina Deva says the authority will not condone any such offence committed by any of its officers. Savaratambua files this report.
28-year-old Ashish Jatan appeared at the Suva Magistrates Court charged with 1 count of drink and drive. Jatan, a Land Transport Authority officer, was granted $500 bail and was told to surrender his driving license, has been ordered not to reoffend and given 2 weeks to apply for legal aid assistance.
We don't condone any it to any extent at all, no. It's something that we preach, it's in our law, and everybody working with authority is very, very clear with that. And it's like the biggest sin we can commit against our own legislation, the one that we are standing for.
Man was caught driving a motor vehicle under the influence of liquor at Waimanu Road early Friday morning. The accused were all apprehended during the Easter operation, which began on Thursday night. A 46-year-old taxi driver, Waisake Sukanapalu, one of the accused, appeared at the Nasinu Magistrates Court this morning. Sukanapalu was charged with 1 count of drink and drive and 1 count of driving with expired license. He pleaded guilty to the offence and will be further remanded in custody until the 8th of April. He was caught driving under the influence of liquor at Langere, Nasinu. Police Chief of Operations ACP Rusiate Tunrav is reminding the public, especially drivers, to adhere to road rules and enjoy the long weekend.
Also like to request members of the public at large if they can support, just be a law-abiding citizen and be responsible on the things that we do in this long weekend.
Police and the LTA are working together to ensure that no one loses his or her life due to road accidents. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
45 traders involved in unethical business practice post TC Winston have been fined by the Fiji Commerce Commission. Chief Executive Bobby Maharaj says they have a special project, post Winston inspection and market surveillance, of which action has been taken against these traders. 45 traders have been fined so far for holding conditional sale post TC Winston. The 45 traders have been fined from $1,000 to $3,000. Maharaj says they have allocated their entire resources to monitor areas that were affected by Cyclone Winston and is also reminding traders to be more responsible not to increase their prices.
Whenever we have discovered this, we have asked the traders to remove these goods from the trading floor, and also we are investigating a couple of traders for, let's say, sale of goods which are of unmerchantable quality. So from our side, that's what we have done. Ask the traders to immediately remove the goods, and two, based on the documentary evidences that we are trying to obtain, we will investigate if in case their conduct amounted to what we call a sale of goods which are not of merchantable quality.
Maharaj says that people affected by Cyclone Winston are already suffering. However, if prices remain low, this can quickly assist in rebuilding lives. Well, a new project is being undertaken by the Damodar Group in Rewanga, Suva. The project, which will see a massive complex, will target the tourism industry, the entertainment sector, food, lifestyle and more. Farzana Nisha reports.
This will be the new location of the massive project that's already underway, about 200 meters away from Damodar city.
3 months' time, we're looking at a brand launching point of view, and that's where we reveal a lot of things. We will see the whole perspective what is it going to be called, and what's the value of it. I'm a very strong promoter of focusing on local contractors, local subcontractors, so there's a lot of work that we'll make sure it goes to locals.
The new project on this 21-acre land is expected to boost the economy by generating more employment for Fijians.
Make sure that a lot of jobs are given out locally. That's because we want to create employment. That's our key into it. Same thing with up here, that the amount of employment that will be created is going to go quite big. Yeah. And that project next door is more of a that the nation will be proud of, and it's done locally, and it's done by people that everyone knows. So that gives us the confidence of moving forward.
The new project is expected to be launched in June. Farzana Nisha, FBC News.
Military officers from Fiji and the Australia and New Zealand Defence Forces got together in a combined service in Suva yesterday to mark Easter celebrations. The officers, who were working mostly on repairing the damage left behind by Cyclone Winston, say it was a fitting way to take a break. Akasita Tale has more.
These officers have been commended for their tireless efforts in rehabilitating lives of Fijians that have been affected by TC Winston.
We was also emphasizing to them the fact that when they have the opportunity to take a break, that to utilize it well. We will be missing from our families for a little longer in the next 2-3 years. Knowing that it's during the period where we're trying to do the rehabilitation for Cyclone Winston. So yes, this one is quite unique, and I'm sure people will remember this one. But it's an opportunity to gather, really bond again.
This year's Easter celebrations was different from the past, as it had the services of our neighbouring defence forces. Also in attendance were members from the Fiji Police Force.
Church service conducted in the various units during the week, and which culminated today in a combined service. And we are fortunate to have the Australian Defence Forces and the New Zealand Defence Forces to be part of our Thanksgiving and Easter service.
Rear Admiral Naupoto says the combined service is a good way to unite the defence forces, as it will greatly contribute towards Fiji's quick rehabilitation. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
There will be no ILO Commission of Inquiry against Fiji. And this comes after the International Labour Organization governing body decided not to refer the Article 26 complaint filed against Fiji and close the Article 26 complaint at the 326th session on Thursday. Now, the Fijian government delegation was led by the Acting Permanent Secretary for Employment, Productivity and Industrial Relations, Salaseni Daunamuna. The representatives of the Fiji Trade Union Congress National Secretary Felix Anthony and the Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation's Chief Executive Officer Nesbitt Hazelman were also in attendance. The delegation informed the governing body about the success of the ILO tripartite mission this year, following the signing of the Single Joint Implementation Report between the tripartite parties. The closure of the Article 26 complaint means that Fiji will also embark on rebuilding labour relations and harnessing sustainable labour practices through social dialogue with the social partners and ILO. Coming up on FBC News, second phase of Nandi Road project to open in the coming weeks.
Yandra! I love listening to Gold FM at Golden Point Resort. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is General from Fbctv Village. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic.
I'm Moses from Valeu. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Marida Manako. I'm from Kandavu. I like listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Silipa from Tavor Town. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. Here with FBC News. A portion of the multi-million-dollar Nandi Airport to Denarau Island Road network will open to the travelling public in the coming weeks. This has been confirmed by the Fiji Roads Authority, as the second phase of the project is expected to be opened in May. Madhu Boletamana tells us more.
The woman at the helm of the major roads overhaul in the Western Division says the final touches to the second phase of the project is just about complete.
It's been through a safety audit at the junction with Queen's Road because
we have the 4-lane coming up to join there, and in the current circumstance of different projects connecting at that junction and the different levels of progress, a safety audit was done and the line painting and signage there has been reviewed to reflect what we have now until the other projects arrive at that junction, and it will be phased as we go through.
The Fiji Roads Authority has confirmed that the Nandi Airport to Denarau Back Road will be open to the travelling public in the coming week.
Okay, so this specific road, this is the one from the Queen's Road, Wailolo Junction, going through to the Denarau Road at Nareva. That is 3 kilometers of new road.
Khan has urged the travelling public to be vigilant on the new road to avoid unwanted congestions.
A lot of enthusiasm for the new road, and then we have motorists speeding. The point of a lot of these roads is to reduce the congestion, and we welcome everybody, to use the speed limit that is appropriate to the road, and everybody will get to their destinations quickly, and a lot quicker than they have been.
2 of the 3 kilometer stretch has already been opened to the public, whilst the Wailolo to Enamanu Road Junction will be open mid-April. Madhyam Tamana, FBC News.
Now, the Fiji Roads Authority also says it has incurred $26,000 worth of damages as a result of vandalism in its Nandi Airport to Denarau Road project. Program engineer Zaina Khan says stolen and destroyed pot plants, graffiti and vandalized footpaths top the FRA's list of concerns as the tail end of the project nears its completion. Khan says the call to the members of the public is to take pride in the project and be responsible citizens.
We will be asking them to step up their monitoring of the new road. That will be Fiji Police Force and the LTA, particularly in regard of these issues. We had theft in the earlier part of the project with the drainage and silt fencing, and now, we're coming back to the same issues of theft and damage for things like plants.
Meanwhile, the new Matinta to Narewa bypass is expected to be open to motorists next week. The Health Ministry has received a number of complaints from the public on the lack of compassion shown by nursing staff. Director of Nursing, Selina Wanga, says it is of major concern that nurses are not portraying a good image of the health sector. Kelly Vadala has the details.
Nurses have one of the most critical responsibilities when it comes to looking after patients. Wanga says while nurses are fully qualified, they need to be mindful that they are dealing with human lives.
Take complaints seriously, because that's the only way we can better our services. So most of the complaints that the community laments over are related to soft skills. It's not about head knowledge. The nurses are, I can confidently vouch, they are well qualified, well trained. It's just the input of soft skills, how they handle patients, customer service, and just being kind, just being very honest, just being polite, those kind of things matters to the community. So we need to consider that seriously.
Nurses are being advised to put into practice their theory of soft skills to provide the uttermost care for patients.
We don't only really want, head knowledge. We want that to be translated into the practice, accompanied by soft skills, good soft skills, because otherwise then, our care would be very partial. Today we need to treat people as people. So those are some very core of nursing, and we want to do that so that these young nurses are very much aware of that.
Wanga is advising all people working under the Health Ministry to show compassion when serving the public. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The Ministry of Agriculture has been handed 40,000 vegetable seedlings ready for planting in the Western Division this weekend. This is an initiative funded by the European Union and facilitated by the Pacific Community. Madhyam Tamana has more on the story.
The ambassador of the European Union, Andrew Jacobs, handing over vegetable seedlings to the Permanent Secretary for Agriculture, Urea Wembuta, that will replenish the dwindling stock post-tropical cyclone Winston.
These have been grown with the support of a program that the SPC is is executing for the European Union. This is the first batch of vegetable seeds. There's papaya, there's tomato, there's eggplant. There's a range of different vegetables and fruits which are being made available to farmers who have been affected by the cyclone.
Through this partnership with the European Union and the South Pacific community, a lot more seedlings will be distributed to farmers around the country in the northern, western and eastern divisions.
In a few weeks' time there'll be another batch of 200,000 seedlings which will be ready. A few weeks after that another 200,000. So in all there'll be nearly 500,000 seeds provided through this program. And I'm confident this will really help get farmers back on their feet and help to really help the local economy really to begin to recover following the cyclone.
Permanent Secretary for Agriculture Urrea Wembuta says the seedlings will go a long way in replenishing the vegetable markets. Fiji will have to encounter a lull in the supply before things start to pick up in the coming weeks.
We should expect to see that the price of vegetables will also, it is a sudden drop because trying to get rid of the current stock. But once that is finished, then we should see again another increase in the demand because of the shortage in supply. But maybe in the next 2.5 to 3 months, that is when we should see vegetables stabilizing again in the market.
The seedlings will be distributed to farmers identified by the ministry. Madhim Bolaitamana, FBC News.
Coming up in sports, table tennis rep qualifies for the Rio Olympics. And athletes make the most of the national championship. We'll have this and more after the break.
एलिन लटका में मिर्ची एफएम को लॉक कर दिया जाए। मिर्ची एफएम, it's hot.
हम नकाशी से साइमन है, हमारा वेजिटेबल जैसे नंबर 1 है वैसे मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है।
My name is Dinesh. हम नैनी में काम करता है स्लीपिंग जायंट जिपलाइन में और मिर्ची एफएम is hot. I like it.
मिर्ची एफएम।
Welcome to FBC Sports. Now, national table tennis rep Sally Yee has qualified for the Rio Olympics, making her the first Fijian and Pacific Islander to directly qualify. Yee finished third in the Oceania Championship women's singles in Australia, just managing to secure a ticket to the Rio Olympics. Chalindo Dakadaka has more.
15-year-old Sally Yee will be joining the multitudes of sportsmen and women who will be competing for Olympic glory in Rio, Brazil in August. The Jane Ryan College students settled for third spot in the Oceania Championship in Bendigo, Australia yesterday to become the first Fijian player to qualify for an Olympic Games.
It means a lot in many different ways for the sport, for the country, and for the family. The table tennis family. It's a great achievement. We have been trying very hard to get into the limelight as minor sports in the country.
The news has been well received by the local table tennis community, who are beaming with pride at the achievement of one of their brightest young stars.
And, when we look at our education system, getting into sports and performing well in academic studies is a huge achievement, and I must say it's a proud moment for Sally as she represents one of those females who has achieved it all.
Sally and her sister Grace will remain with their coach in Melbourne for further training and head to the Gold Coast for further competition. Chalindo Dakadaka, FBC Sports.
A large turnout was recorded at the Shop and Save Athletics Fiji National Championship at ANZ Stadium in Suva over the past 2 days. The meet serves as a vital selection tool for athletics looking to represent the country in the Melanesian Games.
I mean, the response from the clubs has been really good. We're actually quite impressed with the schools from that just had their zone this past week. Maras, QVS, ACS, they've all turned up in numbers, and some of the times they are running so soon after the zone is quite impressive, given the fact that they just ran on Thursday and Wednesday. And we're happy they actually turned up to come and represent or make use of the competition as they build up to the Coca-Cola Games.
Meanwhile, the Coca-Cola Games will be held on the 28th to the 30th of next month at the ANZ Stadium. The Ratu Sukuna Memorial School Under-19 side won the Vodafone Fiji National Rugby League Southeast Challenge match after defeating Lomaivuna High School 14-6 in Suva today. The Nambour-based school has now retained the trophy for 2 weeks in a row as all teams now look to the national competition, which will be held in Lautoka in 2 weeks' time. And in other results, Ratu Latniara High School beat Maris Brothers 22-6. In the Under-17, Great Assemblies of God High School thrashed Dudley 42-2 and Gospel lost to LDS 18-12. Dynamic Reds are once again the reigning queens of local basketball after beating Sparks 26-14 in the women's final of the Winston Appeal Tournament at Vodafone Arena this afternoon. The Rewa-based side had too much talent and experience on its side to dominate the Sparks outfit. And in the men's final, the University of the South Pacific defeated Boston White 33-30. All proceeds from the tournament will go towards the Cyclone Winston relief effort. It will be a Kinoya versus Rewanga final in the Crest Chicken Easter Volleyball Championship at the FMF Gymnasium this evening. Kinoya scored an upset 2-1 victory over favourites Rewa in the semi-final. In the second semi-final, Rewanga beat Nasinu by the same scoreline. And the men's final between Kinoya and Rewanga is now underway. Showers prevailed over Yasawa, the northern and eastern division today. Elsewhere, fine weather apart from afternoon showers and isolated thunderstorms was experienced. Now a trough of low pressure remains slow moving over Vanuatu. Another trough of low pressure lies slow moving over Tuvalu and the eastern and southern parts of Fiji and the southern Cooks. Nadi was the hottest again today at 33 degrees. Suva and Lautoka were on 32. Ba and Savu were on 31, while Lambasa was the coolest on 30. You can expect fine weather in the morning for some centres, but showers and thunderstorms will be experienced in the afternoon for most parts of the country tomorrow. As for the further outlook, you can expect northeast winds 10 to 15 knots and moderate seas. Recapping the main stories, 6 appear in court for drink and drive cases. The Commerce Commission fines 45 traders following the devastation caused by TC Winston. And the Damodar Group plans to build a 21-acre project to target tourism in Suva. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. On to this week's poll question. And we ask, is Fiji progressing well after TC Winston? Do visit and answer our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us for our Facebook page as well, FBC News. Or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Good night.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa and I love listening to Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lautoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Hulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.